mental health. It's a topic that affects all of us, yet is often misunderstood and stigmatized. But what exactly is mental health and how does it impact our lives? Mental health refers to our emotional, psychological, and social well being. It affects how we think, feel, and act. It encompasses the state of one's mind and its ability to function effectively in daily life. Good mental health means being able to manage stress, form and maintain positive relationships, work productively, make rational decisions, and cope with life's challenges. Mental health illnesses can be caused by a variety of factors, including genetic predisposition, traumatic life events, and environmental stressors. These health problems often emerge from a combination of genetic, biological, environmental, psychological, and social factors. Mental health issues can affect people of all ages, especially young people. Mental health issues in young people can range from mood disorders like depression and anxiety to behavioral disorders such as attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. These challenges often stem from a combination of genetic, biological, environmental, and psychological factors. Fortunately, there are ways to reduce the impact of mental health issues, from seeking professional help to practicing self care and mindfulness. There are many strategies that can help improve mental well being. Reducing mental health issues involves a versatile approach. Promoting awareness and education is crucial to destigmatize mental health concerns and encourage open conversations.
I think mental health in my life is quite an important part. I think mental health basically just means you have problems inside that you don't want to speak out to people. Like you're not comfortable with certain people speaking to you about what you're going through. Um, it's just you've got like internal conflict that you don't know how to get rid of unless someone gives you, like, doctors give you medication, people speak to you, but you still don't feel comfortable with what you're doing. But yeah.
Having my peace, having, my mind straight, thinking properly. Yeah. And it is very important to me because I'm not the most social person. So I think, that being said, I think I need to keep my feelings in check for like a period of time.
I think it's really important because if you feel not comfortable with yourself or you have some problems, it's really hard to contact with other people as well. I think it's really important to know what you're feeling and how you can share it with someone.
In myself, I tend to know when I'm stressed because I get things like headaches, feel nausea. Okay, I find, especially young people, I tend to look at things like their appearance, things like them coming in late to college or being absent, or sometimes not being engaged in class. Sometimes their work gets affected as well. So, there are lots and lots of different types of indicators.
I personally just do some art, listen to music, every now and then speak to friends or family. And when I say family, I mean like my older brother, because my parents obviously don't want to understand what I'm going through. But listening to music is one of the highest thing that I would do.
I personally, how do I cope with stress? I pray and I sleep. And sometimes I tell my older sister about it, but I mostly pray, then sleep. But mostly sleep. I think we as people could never ever speak enough about mental health. Subjects and topics like anxiety, depression, suicide should be more spoken about. I think it's taken for granted a lot, so I think schools should give more talks and interviews on it.
I think probably yes. It's like not something really much, but something that children can just openly talk and they don't feel pressure from other teachers.
Okay, well, schools, and I believe most schools and colleges, universities now do have an access point where people can access mental health services, some kind of, somebody that's in charge of more of the well-being and mental health of students and staff. And that's really important. And I think to promote those services, along with an awareness and understanding of mental health issues, because it could be that you have somebody that isn't quite aware that they're struggling with something, say, like depression, because through lack of education. But if you're aware that these things exist and that they're normal, then it builds up the awareness and reduces the stigma around mental health.
Okay. To talk to someone, that could be something. Okay, it doesn't necessarily have to be professional help. Just someone who they can trust, who could just sit there and listen to them. Another thing I tend to find is just sitting there like in a quiet space. It just give you time to think, or meditation, or things like that.
Well, the sort of advice that I might give to students and colleagues who are struggling with mental health would be to not be afraid to ask for help. There is help available in college and, of course, outside of college as well, and to tap into those services to make sure that you're able to access the support that you need.
Personally, I wasn't working and I got to have time from school. But before the COVID-19, I had issues like very bad anxiety. I wouldn't say I was depressed, but having that kind of break was really, I think I really needed it to get back to being myself. So I can't say for other people because I heard it disrupted lots of things for people, but I personally enjoyed my break.
Pandemic has caused quite a lot of trouble because everyone needs to isolate. Everyone needs to isolate. They need to stay home. And a lot of people might have felt like they're on their own, alone, even though there's family members with them, because the family members might not be the people that they feel comfortable with. And they just decrease until the lockdowns got lifted. Then they finally eventually met up with their friends and started speaking to them, and that's when they feel comfortable.